Lara didn't scream because of pain. She screamed because something alive was crawling out from between her legs. White, wriggling, hungry maggots. And as they fell onto the bathroom floor one after another, she realized one terrifying truth. Someone had taken something from her. Something she could never get back on her own. Lara Adeyemi had always been the quiet one. The girl who minded her business, stayed out of trouble, and prayed before leaving her room every morning. But poverty has a way of breaking even the strongest people. The day everything began, she sat at the back of her university lecture hall, fanning herself with an old notebook. Hunger made her hands shake. She hadn't eaten since yesterday. Her mother, Mama Rank, had been coughing blood for 3 weeks. The hospital bill, 80,000 Nigerian nairas. Lara's account balance, 1,650 Nigerian nairas. Her chest tightened every time she thought about her mother lying on that bed, whispering, "Don't worry, I'll be fine," even though they both knew she wouldn't. After class, Lara dragged her tired legs to her hostel room. Inside, blasting music filled the air, and her roommate, Zara, sat on the bed rubbing lip gloss on her already shiny lips. Zara lived like a princess. New wigs every week. New shoes every month. New phone every semester. And she always smelled like expensive vanilla perfume. She looked up and sighed dramatically. "Lara babe, you look like life beat you with cane. You never chop." Lara forced a smile. "No money." Zara's face changed. She sat up, studying Lara closely, the way a hunter studies an animal before throwing the spear. "Your mama still day sick?" Lara nodded quickly before the tears could come. Zara put her phone down and leaned closer. "Lara, listen. There's a way out. But I'm not sure you're brave enough." Lara's heart thumped. "A way out?" Zara's voice softened, sweet like poison. "There's one man, rich, clean, generous. He no day disturb girls. He just likes respectful, quiet ones like you. One night with him, just one, and your mama's bills go clear." Lara froze. Her heart stopped. Her throat tightened. She wanted to say no. But then she remembered her mother coughing blood into her hands. Tears spilled from Lara's eyes. Zara squeezed her shoulder gently. "This world no fair. Sometimes you must do the wrong thing for the right reason." That night, Lara locked herself in the bathroom and cried until she couldn't feel her face. Then at 10:30 p.m., she stepped outside the hostel in a borrowed black dress, shaking from fear. A sleek black SUV rolled to a stop. The door opened. A man stepped out. Tall. Dark. Expensive watch shining even in the dark. A calm smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Mr. Zander." "Get in," he said. His voice was smooth, but something about him felt cold. Lara sat inside the SUV, holding her breath. He didn't touch her. He didn't talk much. He simply drove her to a quiet luxury hotel far outside town. The room smelled of incense and expensive cologne. He handed her a glass of juice. "Drink," he said softly. "It will help you relax." Lara didn't drink it. But something else happened. Something she couldn't explain. Her memory blurred. Her body felt heavy. Her thoughts floated away like smoke. All she remembered was darkness. And then. Morning. She woke up alone on the bed, half covered. Her heart dropped. On the table was an envelope containing 500,000 Nigerian nairas. And a small note. "For your mother. Do not try to contact me. X." Lara hugged the money to her chest and cried until she couldn't breathe. That afternoon, she paid her mother's bills. The treatments began immediately. Her mother's coughing slowly reduced. For the first time in months, Lara smiled. She thought the nightmare was over. But the truth was, the nightmare had just woken up. 2 weeks later, Lara felt a strange itch. Then a smell, rotten, sour, heavy. Then a sharp pain deep in her lower stomach. The clinic gave her antibiotics. Nothing changed. Soon, her underwear was always wet with a thick, blackish fluid. She tried to ignore it. Until one morning. Lara went to the bathroom. Pulled down her underwear. Looked down. And screamed so loudly. The entire hostel woke up. On the floor. Moving. Alive. Were maggots. Crawling out from between her legs. She collapsed instantly. When she opened her eyes, she was in a hospital bed. A bright light burned her eyes. Her body shook uncontrollably. Zara stood beside her, pretending to be shocked, but her eyes looked guilty. "I saw them," Lara whispered. "They were inside me." The nurse looked confused. "Maggots? Inside you? From where?" The doctors ran every test. STD, negative. Ultrasound, clear. Pregnancy, negative. Everything, normal. "Nothing is wrong with you," they said. But Lara knew they were wrong. Dead wrong. That night, more maggots came. And Zara finally whispered the truth. "You're not the first girl. Some died. Some ran mad. I thought he changed. I swear I didn't know he still does, that thing." Lara slapped her, shaking with horror. "You sold me." But it was too late. Something had already been taken. Something she could never replace. And when she visited a powerful prophetess, covered in white chalk, who didn't even let Lara speak before she said, "You carry a covenant. Your womb has been sold." Lara dropped to her knees screaming. Because she knew. Her life was no longer her own. The forest was still sleeping when Lara followed the prophetess down the narrow path. It was 4 a.m. Cold wind kissed her bare feet. The trees whispered like they were alive. Lara wore a plain white wrapper tied around her chest. Her bones felt weak, but her spirit was on fire. Behind them walked Nena, the prophetess's helper, silent, carrying a calabash filled with palm oil, white chalk, and an egg that glowed strangely under the moonlight. The prophetess finally spoke. "Do not fear. Ashamili, the river that sees all, already knows your name." Lara swallowed hard. They walked until the trees parted, revealing a wide, powerful river. Mist rose from its surface like breath from a sleeping giant. The prophetess knelt and touched the water with her fingers. "Ashamili, daughter of the gods, we bring a child whose womb was taken." The river suddenly rippled. A cold wind rushed across the water. Lara gasped. "Step forward," the prophetess said. Lara obeyed. The moment her feet touched the water, a freezing shock shot through her body. It felt like knives running over her skin. "Go deeper," the prophetess instructed. Lara walked until the water reached her waist. Her teeth chattered. The prophetess lifted the egg. "If her womb was stolen, reveal it." She threw the egg into the river. At first, nothing happened. Then the egg floated back up, slowly. It cracked. Black, thick liquid poured out. The river churned angrily. Nena gasped. "Mother, this is serious." The prophetess looked at Lara with deep sadness. "Your womb is not only stolen, it is buried." Lara felt her knees buckle. "Buried? Where? Can I get it back?" The prophetess dipped a broom made of palm fronds into the water and began sweeping around Lara's waist. As she swept, Lara screamed. A burning pain tore through her stomach. It felt like something inside her was being pulled. "Hold on," the prophetess shouted. "The spirit is fighting you." Lara screamed louder, clutching her stomach, bending in agony. Then a voice echoed from the river. Deep. Not human. She cannot be free. The price must be returned. Lara's eyes widened. Whose voice is that? The prophetess trembled. The one who received your womb. The one he paid. Lara was shaking uncontrollably. What price? Who must return it? The prophetess whispered the words Lara feared most. The man you slept with must return the power he gained, or your womb remains lost forever. Lara's heart collapsed inside her. He will never do that. He must, the prophetess said. Or you will suffer until death. Lara fell to her knees in the freezing river water, crying. But I don't even know where to find him. The prophetess wiped her face gently. Then you must return to the one who delivered you into his hands. Zara. Lara's tears stopped. Her fear turned into something darker. Resolve. Lara returned to campus later that afternoon, exhausted and trembling. Her wrapper was wet, her hair messy, her eyes red. Students stared as she walked past. When she entered her hostel room, Zara almost screamed. Lara. Where have you been? You vanished for 2 days. Lara closed the door slowly. Give me his name. Zara froze. What? His full name. Lara's voice was sharp, cold. No nicknames. No lies. Zara backed away. Lara, please. He doesn't like people talking about him. The last girl who tried. Lara grabbed her by the shirt, pinning her to the wall. If I die, Zara. I promise you. I will drag you into the grave with me. Zara broke. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She slowly reached for a piece of paper. Her hands trembled as she wrote one name. Chief Adrik Nwagu. Lara stared at the name like it was burning a hole in her mind. That's his real name? Zara nodded rapidly, fear all over her face. Yes, but nobody calls him that. They call him the Collector. He buys women's destinies. He trades wombs for political power, for wealth, for protection. Lara's stomach twisted. Where does he live? Zara shook her head, panic rising. I don't know the address. He changes houses. His people move him around. But. She swallowed. He has a private lodge near Emerald Hill Estate. Nobody goes there. No one comes out. Lara stuffed the paper into her bag. That's all I need. Zara grabbed her arm desperately. Lara, don't go. People who look for him disappear. Lara pulled away. He took something from me. And I'm going to take it back. That evening, Lara borrowed a hoodie, dark glasses, and took a bike to Emerald Hill Estate. Rich neighborhood. Tall gates. Silence everywhere. No children playing. She asked a fruit seller about the house. The woman looked around nervously before whispering. If it's the big black gate with the carved symbols, that's his place. But don't call him Adrik. No one does. Around here, he is Odogwu. People say girls go in and never come out. Lara's heartbeat pounded in her ears. She walked to the gate. 2 huge security men blocked her path. Good afternoon, she whispered. I need to see Odog, Adrik. He knows me. They burst into laughter. You get appointment? No, she said. Then go back before you disappear here. They shoved her away and slammed the gate. Lara stood there for a long time. Tears rolled down her face but her eyes were burning with anger. This wasn't the end. This was only the beginning. That night, Lara's sleep shattered. She dreamed she was lying in a coffin. Not filled with darkness. Filled with maggots. She couldn't move. And above the coffin stood Chief Adrik. Dressed in red beads. Black wrapper. Holding a staff dripping blood. His smile was evil. He leaned close and whispered. I didn't just take your womb. I bought your destiny. Lara woke up screaming, drenched in sweat. Her roommate rushed to her bed. Lara. What is it? Lara grabbed her Bible, shaking. I need to go back to the prophetess. This is not sickness. This is a spiritual war. Far away, inside a compound with black walls and burning candles. Chief Adric sat on a carved wooden throne, drinking palm wine. Behind him stood a shrine decorated with skulls, feathers, and red cloth. A goat horn lay on the floor. He lifted it to his lips and whispered. She is awake. She has seen the river. She thinks she can fight. A deep laugh rumbled from his chest. Let her try. He stood and poured wine onto the floor. Before she reaches me again, there will be nothing left of her. The candles flickered violently. The shadows on the wall stretched like living creatures. The war had officially begun. Lara reached the prophetess's compound just as the sun dipped behind the trees. The compound felt different now, still, heavy, as if the air was waiting for something to break. The prophetess was already outside, sitting cross-legged, her wrappers tied tighter than usual, white chalk drawn boldly across her forehead. She looked up before Lara even spoke. He is pushing back, she said. He knows you went to his gate. Lara's heart dropped. How? How does he know everything I do? The prophetess rose slowly. When a man uses a woman's womb for power, a connection is created. A dark one. He sees your pain. He feels your fear. And he knows when you are getting close. Lara felt a coldness spread across her arms. What do I do now? The prophetess walked inside, motioning for Lara to follow. Now, we open the truth. The room they entered was lit by 7 red candles placed in a perfect circle. Strange symbols were drawn on the floor in charcoal. Cowries were scattered around a small object covered with black cloth. This, the prophetess said, removing the cloth, is the mirror of Alpha. It wasn't a normal mirror. It looked like a stretched piece of animal skin, polished, shining like water, breathing even though it was not alive. Lara stepped back. It can show your past, present, and the intentions of your enemies, the prophetess explained. But if you look inside without a strong spirit, it can swallow you. Lara swallowed hard. I'm ready. The prophetess smeared ash across Lara's forehead, then pointed to the mirror. Sit. Whatever you see, do not speak until the mirror goes dark. Lara nodded and sat before the mirror, the candles flickering around her like anxious spirits. At first, she saw only her own reflection. Then the surface rippled. Like water disturbed by wind. Images began to form. Lara watched herself walking into the luxury suite. She saw Mr. Xander, Chief Adric, hand her the juice. She saw herself refuse it. Then something she didn't remember. He whispered something. A man in red beads appeared from behind the curtain. He blew white powder into her face. Lara's body went limp instantly. Her heart tightened. That's how you slept, the prophetess whispered. The mirror flickered. Now the mirror showed a small dark place. A shrine. Red candles burning low. A clay pot filled with something thick and red, blood. Chief Adric stood over it wearing a black wrapper and red beads. His eyes were glowing faintly. He removed something from the pot. A small replica of a womb, molded in black wax. He whispered. This is my offering. Take her womb. Give me more years of power. Then he buried the wax womb in the soil of the shrine. Lara gasped. She felt like someone punched her chest. The prophetess placed a hand on her shoulder. Breathe. The mirror rippled again. Now Lara saw, herself. Older. Dressed in a wedding gown. Her husband beside her. She was smiling. Then the scene shifted. She was sitting in a hospital bed. Crying. A doctor shaking his head. A voice echoed from the mirror. Without the womb, her bloodline ends. Lara screamed. The prophetess held her tightly. Hold on. The mirror is not finished. The mirror darkened, then glowed fiercely. A voice came through. The one who took must return. Or bleed on the shrine where he buried what he stole. Lara froze. Bleed, she whispered. The prophetess nodded slowly. Yes. Only two things can break a womb covenant. The thief willingly returns what he took. Or his blood falls on the sacred ground where he buried it. Lara's voice shook. That means I must face him. The prophetess nodded. And pray he bleeds before he kills you. The mirror suddenly snapped to black. The candles extinguished themselves. The room dropped into complete darkness. Lara screamed as cold hands, unseen, brushed past her shoulders. The prophetess grabbed her arm. He is here. A deep growl echoed through the room. Not human. Not earthly. He is watching, the prophetess whispered. He knows you saw the shrine. Whispers filled the room, dozens, maybe hundreds, like angry spirits crowding close. Lara trembled violently. He won't let you come for him, the prophetess said. He will strike first. Lara gathered the courage she didn't know she had. I don't care. I will get my womb back. The prophetess stared into her eyes. Then prepare yourself, child. The journey ahead will draw blood. Either yours, or his. Later that night, in Chief Adric's compound, a guard ran into his room. Chief. Something is on the gate. Adric walked out, annoyed. Hanging on the gate was a red cloth tied in a strange knot. He grabbed it. On the cloth was written in thick charcoal. I want what you stole. For a moment, Chief Adric said nothing. Then. He smiled. Slowly. Darkly. So, the girl wants war. He tied the cloth around his fist. Let her come. Let her fight. I will show her why no woman survives me. The wind blew. Torches flickered. Somewhere in the shadows, something growled. The battle line had been drawn. The night air was cold when Lara returned from the prophetess's shrine. Her entire body felt heavy, but her spirit burned like fire. The prophetess had told her the truth plainly. Chief Adric would attack first. He would not wait. He would strike to kill. Lara held her wrapper tighter around her body. She was not safe anywhere anymore. At midnight, Lara woke up suddenly. Her hostel room felt wrong. The air was thick. Her skin prickled. Then she saw it. A shadow in the corner of the room. Tall. Still. Watching. Her roommate was fast asleep, completely unaware. Lara backed away slowly, heart pounding so loud she could hear it in her ears. The shadow moved. Its arms stretched unnaturally long. Its head tilted sideways. It whispered with a voice that echoed like metal scraping glass. Come to him. Your blood is needed. Lara screamed. The lights flickered violently. Her roommate shot up, confused. But the shadow was gone. At dawn, Lara ran back to the prophetess's compound. The prophetess was already waiting outside, as if she knew. You saw the shadow, she said calmly. Lara nodded, trembling. He wants my blood. He needs it, the prophetess corrected. He needs to complete the covenant so that nothing can break it. Lara's breath froze. Complete? What do you mean complete? The prophetess looked at her with pity. You were supposed to die the same night he took your womb. He delayed it, because he needed the right hour. Now that you fight, he must kill you to seal the burial forever. Lara's knees weakened. But I'm not ready to die. The prophetess touched her shoulder. Then you must go to his shrine before he calls your spirit from your body. Lara blinked. I have to go. To him? The prophetess nodded. It is the only way. To break a womb burial, you must either take back what he buried. Or make him bleed on that ground. Lara swallowed hard. How do I get to his shrine? I don't even know where it is. The prophetess sighed. You do. The mirror showed you. Lara closed her eyes. The image came back instantly. The crooked tree. The cracked wall. The red cowries. The black cloth tied to a post. She knew exactly where it was. The prophetess gave her a small pouch tied with cowries. Tie this on your waist. When the time comes, you will know what to do. Lara held it tightly. Then she began the journey toward Emerald Hill again. This time, she was not pretending to look innocent. She wasn't afraid of guards. She was going to war. The sun was setting when she reached the estate. She walked past the fruit seller, who whispered. Child, don't go there. Nobody comes back. Lara didn't answer. She walked straight toward the big black gate with golden symbols. But this time, the gate was open. Wide. As if waiting for her. She walked through a long hallway lit with torches. Strange masks hung on the walls. Animal skins. Drums. Bones tied with red cloth. Her feet shook, but she kept moving. At the end of the hallway, she saw it. The shrine the mirror had shown her. A cracked wall with charcoal drawings. A crooked tree leaning over it. Red cowries buried into the soil. The black cloth tied to a wooden post. Anne. There, kneeling in front of the buried wax womb. Chief Adric. He turned slowly when he heard her footsteps. His eyes glowed red. I knew you would come, he said softly. I've been waiting. Lara's chest rose and fell rapidly. Give me back my womb. He laughed deeply. You think this is about your womb? Child, it's your destiny I need. He rose to his feet. He was wearing only a black wrapper and red beads. He looked powerful. Terrifying. He stretched his hand toward her. Come. Let me finish what I started. Lara stepped back. No. Adric's smile faded. You think you have a choice. You think a little prophetess can protect you. He raised his hand sharply. A violent gust of wind slammed into Lara, throwing her to the ground. Her head hit the dirt hard. Her ears rang. Her vision blurred. Adric began chanting loudly, powerfully. The ground vibrated. The buried spot glowed red. Lara felt her stomach twist in unbearable pain. She crawled, crying, screaming. No, no, no. Adric's voice boomed. Your blood will seal it. He lifted a knife carved with symbols. He stepped toward her. Lara reached for her waist. The pouch the prophetess gave her. She tore it open. A sharp, burning heat exploded from inside. A beam of bright white light shot out, hitting Adric directly in the chest. He stumbled backward, shocked. What? The light hit him again. He roared in pain. Lara's strength surged. She pushed herself to her feet. The pouch dropped. Inside it was a small charm made of bone and chalk. It glowed. Lara grabbed it and held it tightly. Adric charged toward her with the knife. She stepped aside. And slashed the charm across his arm. The cut was small. But the effect was enormous. Adric screamed as if fire touched his soul. Blood dripped from his arm onto the ground. The same ground where he buried her womb. The soil hissed. The candles blew out. The air became icy. Adric fell to his knees, clutching his arm. No, no, and no. You foolish girl. Do you know what you've done? Lara's voice was steady. I broke your covenant. The soil shook violently. A hole opened, spitting out black smoke. Then, something small rolled out of the ground. A tiny wax womb. Burned. Dark. But intact. Lara reached for it with shaking hands. Adric screamed and lunged at her. But before he touched her, his body froze. His eyes widened. Blood poured from his mouth. He collapsed to the ground. Still. Dead. The air went silent. Deep, heavy, unnatural silence. Lara held the wax womb against her chest. She fell to her knees, crying. Not in fear. Not in pain. But in relief. She whispered. Thank you, God, thank you. The ground slowly closed. The torches lit themselves again. The wind stopped. She stood. Weak. Shaking. But free. Back at the prophetess's shrine, Lara placed the wax womb on the altar. The prophetess smiled. You fought well. She pressed her hand on the wax. It melted instantly into warm light. Lara gasped, holding her stomach. A gentle warmth filled her lower belly. The prophetess nodded. It is returned. Your future is yours again. Lara collapsed into her arms, sobbing. Weeks passed. Lara healed slowly. Her mother continued recovering. The strange smells disappeared. The pain vanished. Her dreams became peaceful again. One morning, Lara woke up to the soft sound of birds singing outside. For the first time since the nightmare began. Her body felt whole. Her heart felt light. Her womb felt alive. She whispered to herself. I survived. And she did. The darkness did not win. She fought. She bled. She conquered. And Lara Adeyemi walked into her future with her destiny. And her life.